Today marks the beginning of another liturgical year, Year B, the first Sunday of Advent. Adventus actually is the coming. The coming. Last week, I'm sure we had a seminar. For those of you who made the effort to attend this seminar, it may have been quite enriching concerning this season. Today, I want to talk about the waiting vis-a-vis the coming. We have one of the most famous scholars, St. Cyril of Jerusalem, was a bishop. He made some wonderful comparisons between the two comings. Christ came that time, and the way we anticipate his coming in the future. So, Cyril wrote the following, just in summary form. A birth from God before the ages, and another one from a virgin at the fullness of time. Christ came, actually was with God before everything and everyone else. But when he comes through the virgin, he comes into and fits into our own time. One was a hidden coming, another one before all eyes. The first coming was wrapped in swaddling clothes in a manger. In a second, he'll be clothed in glory. The first coming, he endured the cross, despised shame. In a second, he'll be escorted by an army of angels, keeping at bay all shame. In both these comings, there shall be a cry, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. He will not come to be judged again, but to judge those who judged him. In the first coming, he was silent during his own judgment. In the next, he will be the one judging. And finally, Cyril writes, his first coming was to fulfill the plan of love. And the second time, he'll come to judge us by the measure of love. Recall last week's gospel. How did you treat each of these list of your brothers and sisters? Now, in this kind of comparison, you can see the dimension of Advent. It's not just a remembrance, it is also an anticipation, a preparation. And on my part, I add that when we talk about the waiting, it always suggests some kind of coming. You cannot wait for nothing. And so, this has three key elements, namely an entity, the mission of that coming, and finally the attitude of that coming. The being, what something, who is this someone who is coming? And because it has got quite a lot of meaning, it means this kind of waiting of this entity is such a significant one. It can be also an event. It can be someone or an event. And so it brings to our minds how do we prepare for this someone, for this something that is coming into our life? Reminds me of a short story of this wife who was very upset because her husband had stayed late at night to come. She waited and she waited. The husband could not come. And finally she slept and closed the door from inside. The husband arrives very much late, knocks and knocks and knocks and knocks. The wife could not open. Finally, she talked. She was very angry and told the husband, please don't come in. You can't come in. I have closed the door. Just throw yourself in the swimming pool and drown there. And the husband was a bit cunning. So he took a very big stone, not this one, but he threw it into a swimming pool. And the wife had some kind of the kind of the way you throw something into water, everything into water. The wife started now panicking, shaking. Kwani mzee alichukua this matter seriously. Then she came out to check whether this man is still drowning in the water. But the husband was just somewhere in here. So she went to check. And the husband sneaked in. And now he closed the door himself from inside. So the wife somehow heard the clicking of the door and the closing, the locking. She comes running, and now she's the one to knock and knock and knock and knock. The husband tells her, you know what? I will not open for you. You are actually late. The wife threatens the husband and says, open or I will shout until the neighbors wake up and they come to see what is happening. The husband says, you know what? Go ahead. Shout. They will come. They will see you. But how do you answer this arriving this time of night? Very late and dressed in a night dress. Where are you coming from? Some of the way we wait for things and people and the way we respond to their arrival, to their coming, can really be shocking. Now here during the Advent, actually, the event and the person we are waiting for is a game changer in history. History has been changed. Something must change. Otherwise, this entity can vanish into oblivion or becomes insignificant. Many times you look for the status of the person who is coming or the event. Is it a high-level event? What kind of a person is coming? Who is he or she? The impression is actually a matter of concern. But do you think in our case here it matters? We classify events and people to come. What do we know about that person or the event? And the one who has the most information actually has an upper hand. And most will take advantage. I know who is coming. He does not like this. He takes, he drinks, this and that. And actually, a first reading takes us away from these kind of notions. It says the one who is coming is the Father, whose proper name is the Redeemer, who even works for those who wait for him. What kind of a God we have? He knows that we are waiting for him, but he comes to help us wait actually for him. And he says, from of old, from a long, long time ago, he has been preparing us for his own coming. No ear, no eye has perceived this mystery. And the psalmist puts this into perspective. Bring us back. Shine on us. We are waiting for your coming. Bring us back. Shine on us. The mission of this coming, the reason or purpose of this visit, for those of us who know the, let me call it the Wazungu culture, it is very normal to be asked, what brings you here? Try that here in Africa, actually here in Kenya, nini kimekuleta hapa? And you find yourself in trouble. People make conclusions. Ni kama huyu hapendi wageni, ana roho mbaya, hawezi kukaribisha watu, na wauliza mnataka nini hapa? The purpose of the visit is not actually important in Africa. But the mission of the one we are waiting for to come is really important. The wheat flour, very special. The shoes. Some of us who used to walk barefoot, we knew that at Christmas we must wear some kind of shoe. These were just mere preparations for the event, for the mission. But then, you may call them queer, but they helped us focus on the prime. Many times I'll say that there may be a lot of non-essentials around you, but see them, find out what is essential. Another element of time, the hour. Is it known or unknown? The first coming was known. They were sure someone is coming, especially the parents of this entity. They knew that this is coming. But the second one, no one knows when and how. Do you know why? Because the first coming, it was because he was coming to be like us, with flesh and blood, except of course sin. But in the second coming, it is us who will be like him in glory. However, in both, history is broken. In summary form, some few quick points here for you. Number one, the coming is certain. It is surely certain. It must happen. It is your job and my job to wait, but not doing nothing. That is your mission. His mission is to come. Your mission is to wait. Play your part. No drama here. Second, prepare for both known and unknown. But ask yourself, what do I know? If it is unknown, then why do you classify it as such? It could actually be known, be the known. Third, expect, but do not expect beyond the expectations. Disappointment, frustration too is an expectation. Some guys we expected those times never showed up, but this one will have to show up. For there is always a danger of being unprepared. I think most of us are affected by this, the danger of being unprepared. If the last minute can save a man, then the last minute preparation can save his soul. Fifth, if you do not have a watch, pray and you get one. Both will help you to have proper attitude while waiting for the coming, notwithstanding the fact that the hour is unknown. Remember, even those who knew he is coming, they were overwhelmed by what came. They never expected something of this magnitude. All in all, watch and pray. And finally, the length of waiting is a non-issue. As long as the coming is certain, we can never be more sure than this. One final caution and disclaimer for you and for I is that do not be obsessed with what or who. Most often we overlook the now. The now has immense powers. You can change tomorrow just by using the now. And you can change it through this. The gospel says, watch, pray, be alert, vigilant. Very simple. And the rest will just happen. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo.